Hey there everyone, it's Val, and welcome back to Skyrim Zahjira's Travels.
Imperials. We drink to our youth.
It's because you can have to stuff bits of cloth in her ears. She sings well, but she's very loud. Right, you're gonna read some bad poetry. Pied Piper, which Earl? Actually, let me check that. It shouldn't. Ah. Actually, it's not a bad Earl. For some reason, my layer appears to be down at the moment. Let me just double check by using a different Earl. Okay, weird. That one worked. Okay, I will look into that. Let me make a note. Thank you for letting me know. Let me try putting the Earl in again into chat. So, how did I malform it? Oh, it's missing an S. That's why. Excellent. Thank you for catching that. Which means it's probably been wrong on all my things. Obviously, you're the first person that tried to click on it since I've been last edited that and introduced the error. Alright, so that is the SRP one. Okay. SRP. Layer link. Feeks. Alright. Nope, has been made. So, thank you very much. So, site is not down, Earl is incorrect. Entirely different thing. Okay, yeah, I've got it wrong. Just checking the other ones. I've got it correct on YouTube. And on... It's also wrong. Okay, so it's okay on YouTube, but it's wrong on the other two. Excellent. Much appreciated for finding that. Now I'm going to have to eyeball all the places I have that, because I may have pasted it in other places incorrectly. Dang it. Alrighty. Is everything where it should be? You should be there. Excellent. Let's get back to the bad poetry.
The storm.
Ode to the Tundra Striders. This is a Dunmer poem, isn't it? O mighty Tundra Strider, how you and your mighty tusk be silhouette against the great orange expanse. Thundering footsteps herald your herd, man and beast blazing trail together. One in nature, each relying upon the other, more than just man and beast, but equals who need one another to survive. How I long to run across the tundra in their mighty wake. That would truly be my greatest honor. The morning would be spent gathering dyes to paint our mammoths, and then carve the fiercest images into their tusks. Then it would be time for the skeever hunt. Our clubs would rain down upon the rat pests, smashing the life out of them. In the evening could sit around the campfire, and I would regale those nearby with songs of their majesty and grace. They would let me sample of the mammoth's cheese, a food so foul, yet with healing properties so great. We'd snack on the roasted skeever we'd freshly caught that day before laying under the stars to sleep. I'd slowly fade to dream, nested in the radiating heat of mammoth fur, its cold-resisting properties keeping me snug. What a grand time me would have, unknown. All right, it's not by Dunmer, it's by Nord, probably, writing stories about mammoths. It's about as bad as Khajiit expected.
And restore what we own. With our blood and our steel we will take.
The Charwich Kronig Letters, Book 1. Okay. How long is this? Okay. Khajiit could use a little bit more reading to put herself to sleep. Especially with all the noise downstairs. 6 Suns Height, 3rd Era 411, Cambria, High Rock. My dear Kronig, I hope this letter reaches you in Sadrith Mora. Now that one sounds like a Dunmer place. It's been many weeks since I've heard from you, and I hope that the address that I have for you is still up to date. I gave the courier some extra gold, so if he doesn't find you, he is to make inquiries as to your whereabouts. As you can see, after a rather tedious crossing, I've at long last made my way from Boreane to my favorite principality in High Rock, surprisingly literate and always fascinating Cambria. I at once ensconced myself in one of those better libraries here, becoming reacquainted with the locals and the lore. At the risk of being overly optimistic, I think it might have struck on something very interesting about this mysterious fellow, Hadwaf Nithwir. Many here in town remember him, though few very fondly. When Hadwaf Nithwir left, so did a great plague. No one thinks it's a coincidence. According to my contacts here, Zahjira is not his only master. It may be that when he summoned forth the Daedra and accepted her star, he was doing so for someone named Belisir. Apparently, Nithwir worked for this Belisir in some capacity, but I could never find out from anyone exactly what Belisir's line of business was, nor what Nithwir did for him. Zenithir, the god of work and commerce, is the most revered deity in Cambria, which served my, that is to say our, purposes well, as the people are naturally receptive to bribery. Still, it did me little good. I could find nothing specific about our quarry. After days of inquiry, an old crone recommended that I go to a nearby village called Grimchi Garden and find the cemetery taker there. I set off at once. Why would he know something? Maybe people who died from the plague? I know you're impatient when it comes to details and have little taste for Breton architecture, but if you ever find yourself in mid-High Rock, you owe it to yourself to visit this quaint village. Like a number of other similar towns in High Rock, there is a high wall surrounding it. As well as being picturesque, it's a remnant of the region's turbulent past and a useful barrier against the supernatural creatures that sometimes stalk the countryside. More about that in a moment. The cemetery is actually outside of the city gates, I discovered. The locals warned me to wait until morning to speak to the caretaker, but I was impatient for information and did not want to waste a moment. I trekked through the woods to the lonely graveyard and immediately found the shuffling elderly man who was the caretaker. He bade me leave, that the land was haunted, and if I chose to stay, I would be in the greatest danger. I told him that I would not go until he told me what he knew about Hadwaf Nithwir and his patron, Belisir. On hearing their names, he fled deeper into the jumble of broken tombstones and decrepit mausoleums. I naturally pursued. I saw him scramble down into an enormous crypt and gave chase. There was no light within, but I had planned enough to bring with me a torch. The minute I lit it, I heard a long, savage howl pierce the silence, and I knew that the caretaker had left quickly, not merely because he feared speaking to Nithwir and Belisir. Before I saw the creature, I heard its heavy breath and the clack of its clawed feet on stone moving closer to me. The werewolf emerged from the gloom, brown and black, with slavering jaws, looking at me with the eyes of the cemetery caretaker, now given only to animal hunger. Khajiit has never run into a werewolf. To be honest, she kind of... Is this a work of fiction? She's run into many strange creatures, but she's never run into a werewolf. Alright, well, let's continue reading. I instantly had 3 different instinctive reactions. The first was, of course, flight. The second was to fight. But if I fled, I might never find the caretaker again and learn what he knew. If I fought, I might injure or even kill the creature and be even worse off. So I elected to go with my third option, to hold my ground and keep the creature within its tomb until the night became morning and the caretaker resumed his humanity. I've sparred often enough unarmored, but surely never with so much at stake, and never with so savage an opponent. My mind was always on danger, not only of injury, but the dread disease of lycanthropy. So it's a disease that causes werewolves, if they exist. Well, diseases cause vampirism, so possibly it could be a thing, Khajiit admits. She does not know everything. She is not going to say werewolves do not exist outside of fiction. But this is the first time she remembers reading that it could be a disease causing it. That actually brings it more into the realm of possibility, Khajiit feels. Every rake of its claw I parried, every snap of its foaming jaws I ducked. I sidestepped when it tried to rush me, but closed the distance to keep it from escaping into the night. For hours we fought, I always on the defense, it always trying to free itself, or slay me, or both. I have no doubt that a werewolf has greater energy reserves than a man, but it is a beast and does not know how to save and temper its movements. As the dawn rose, we were both nearly unconscious from fatigue, but I received my reward. The creature became a man once again. He was quite considerably friendlier than he'd been before. In fact, when he realized that I'd prevented him from going on his nocturnal rampage to the countryside, he became positively affable. Here's what I learned. Niethwin never returned to High Rock. As far as the old man knows, he is still in Morrowind. I visited the gravesite of his sister Peria, and learned that it was probably through her that Nethwer first met his patron. It would seem that she was quite a well-known courtesan in her day, and very well travelled, though she chose to return home to die. Unlike Nethwer, Balasir is not far away from me. He is a shadowy character, but lately, according to the caretaker, he has been paying court to Queen Elisana in Wayrest. I leave at once. Please write to me as soon as possible to tell me of your progress. I should be in Wayrest at the home of my friend, Lady Elspeta Morling, in a week's time. If Balasir is at court, Lady Morling will be able to arrange an introduction. Feel confident in saying we are very close to Azura's star. Your friend, Charwich.
Back our home.
Interesting. Possibly fictitious?
Down
Okay, one more book. Sorry, Khajiit is in a book reading mood. She can't help it. It comes upon her once in a while. And that bard is very loud. She just thought she'd mention that again. Amongst the Draugr by Bernadette Bantian, College of Winterhold. Bernadette. Khajiit does not remember meeting a Bernadette. This might be from some time ago. It wasn't until my 7th month with the creatures that they seemed to accept me. Well, accept really isn't the proper word, but they seemed to have decided that I posed no threat to them, and gradually ceased their attacks. Though more than capable of fending them off, a combination of fire and turning spells are generally sufficient, I admit that I tired of having to be ever vigilant in their presence. I'll never know whether there was some sort of agreement communicated among them, for the only utterances they make seem to be in that heathen tongue that I can't even pronounce, much less transcribe. Well, Khajiit has only heard them speak dragon shouts, if that's the tongue that she's talking about. In time, I learned more of their intentions towards me from the general movements and tones rather than specific words. Hostility in any creature is easily read, but in these most peculiar of the living dead, with such variations in gait and speed, what amounts to a hostile charge may in one simply be a casual movement in another. The eyes seem to be key to their intent, and I will confess to more than one dream haunted by the glowing pinpoints in the darkness. I had always wondered why the ancient priests of the dragon cult insisted that their followers be buried with them. It seems the height of pagan vanity to drag your conscripts to their death along with you, but as I integrated into their presence, I began to observe the reasons. Every day, a different set of Draugr would awaken, shamble their way to the sarcophagus of their priest, and prostrate themselves before it. Several hours of this, followed by a meticulous cleaning of the area. It would seem that the adherents of the dragon priest continue their worship of him in death, which will also explain the ferocity with which they defend his chambers. So she's right. They are lighting all the torches in those places. assuming this is not fiction. She thinks it doesn't sound like fiction. It took several weeks before I felt comfortable approaching the Dragon Priest's resting place myself, inch by inch, until the snarling draugrs around me seemed to tire of fending off my timid presence. I was able to set some simple scrying spells around the tomb that I might get a sense of what magical energies resided there. When the next group of draugr came to pay homage to the priest, I noted a sort of transferal happening, a distinct flow of life force between the adherents and the master. It was here that I finally understood the dragon cult's notion of resurrection. The second eternal life was only promised to those who ascended to the priesthood, but the lesser functionaries contributed their life force to sustaining them for eternity. I don't know what sort of eternal wellspring they draw from, but it's clear that each draugr carries only the barest whisper of life in it, and rekindles it nightly while resting in its stench. I now believe that the grotesque forms that we see in the barrows were, in fact, buried fully as men and women, and only over the thousands of years that have passed withered into the wretched things we know. If we had visited a barrow directly after its construction, we might not even known any of its inhabitants were dead. Ooh, that is very creepy. So Khajiit's right in that, well, she knows she's right, that the true souls of the people that were buried there aren't there anymore. Khajiit hopes that doesn't mean that they were destroyed by this rituals that seem to be going on, according to this book. But she does know that the draugr, what remains in the draugr, fills regular soul gems, and it wouldn't do that if it was a conscious, thinking being still. These discoveries and extrapolations excite me, and my mind aches to return to the barrows. I have only paused here at the college to transcribe these notes and gather further supplies for a more extended stay. My new hope is to learn some rudimentary way of speaking to them, for imagining what they could tell us of the early mists of time is staggering. Khajiit has a feeling they wouldn't be able to tell you very much. She did come across a very unusual draugr who could speak properly and actually had a soul still trapped there.
We're the children of Skyrim,
and she still has the amulet that draugr gave her in her tent. It was a sad tale indeed.
But this land is ours, and we'll see it wiped clean of the scourge that has.
Well, Khajiit is going to try to sleep. She's not sure how successful she's going to be if their singing is going to go all night. It could be worse. She could be a bad singer. Khajiit is going to sleep and hope that it actually happens. And for those out of character, this may crash.
Sing.
Oh, because she feels much better. Oh. If not quite awake yet. And there's a flute.
Greetings, Netta.
Was it sing?
Is it official?
Okay, I'm going to try save. It might crash. It does that sometimes after sleeping. And there it goes. Crap. Okay, so we'll have to wait instead and hope that it doesn't crash. Dang it. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it does not work. Right. Enjoy some cats and some music while I restart Skyrim. Let's see. Oh, I know just the song. Just the song. Where is it? Here we go.
We're merry men of Skyrim, so sturdy and so stout. When the day is done, when it's time for fun, we'll drink and sing and shout. You weak-livered
Start Skyrim.
drinkers, can let your throats run dry. 'Cause it's just one drink that we will sink until the day we die. Drinking mead in the halls of Whiterun, the maidens and the men. We swig our brew until we spew, then we fill our mugs again. You can keep your filthy skooma, it makes our bellies bleed. Cause when we raise our flag into another dead dragon, there is just one drink we need, Nordmead. Nordmead. Chug another mead and another mead, chug another mead till you fall down. Chug another mead and another mead, chug another mead, warrior. After the long hard days of hunting and of war, our throats are tired and thirsty and our bodies drenched in gore. But we won't waste our evenings feeling tired and feeling spent. We perk right up when we breathe in that wholesome honey scent. That's iridyllic brandy, too fruity for these tongues. You can keep your fancy out to wine, it tastes like Harker dung. Balmora Blue tastes great to you, but here we like it plain. Just fill my mug with a mighty jug of honey, heart and grey. Drinking mead in the halls of Whiterun, the maidens and the men. We swig our brew until we spew, then we fill our mugs again. You can keep your filthy skooma, it makes our bellies bleed. Cause when we raise our flag into another dead dragon, there is just one drink we need, Nordmead. Nordmead. Nordmead.
There, that was the perfect length. Alrighty. Let's try it. Let's do it as a weight instead.
Why can't people stick to their own kind?
Well, dear, I hate
Alright, so we can't wait either. That also happens sometimes, and we just have to wait for it to go away on its own. So I'll start it again, and not sure what to do in order to pass the time. Alright. How about that one? And hello there, cat. I'm a kitty cat on YouTube. Welcome to the stream. I have to start the game again. Start Skyrim.
Starting Skyrim now.
No, not bad timing. The game is refusing to let me pass time either by sleeping or waiting, and then I can't save after it crashes, so... Just working our way around it. It's one of those issues that comes and goes, and right now it's here in its more severe form. Actually, let's load the one just before that. In case it's the save that's borked.
We drink to our youth.
All right.
To the days come and gone.
Make me a kangaroo?
For the
I'm a kangaroo.
This is out of character, obviously.
Aggression is
Shut up, you
just
face.
about done.
Alright, I'm gonna try to do a save right now to see if it's gonna crash. Okay.
We'll drive out the storm cloaks and restore what we own. With our blood and steel, we will take back our home.
Khajiit has been trying to sleep for what feels like hours. She doesn't think it's hours. She can't sleep. All this noise. Fellas, if you want to stay and sleep, that's fine with Khajiit, but she's going to go and walk around. Excuse Khajiit. Really, let her out. Let her out. She's got to get away. Let her out. Let her out. Let her out. Quadojo, would you please move? Really? Why are you standing in the way there? Are you sleeping on your feet with your eyes open? Don't make Khajiit put a trap under you. She wants out of here bad enough that... Kajo, would you move Quadojo politely? Thank you.
Verilene, we're all anxious to hear how the
Now, so much for paying for a room for the night.
tell.
Slow. Another poor farmer shot my company the other day. Why can't people stick to their own kind?
Well,
Well, dear, I hate to break it
Feel
to you,
free to make
but
requests.
hail from such a
Ah.
marvelous star. But judging by your current state,
what's the word around town? Do you have any rumors?
Generally, if you want rumors, you should talk to Corpulus.
Okay.
That said, I did see a visitor pass through on his way to the Blue Palace.
Oh?
are you a member of the college?
And that's all you're going to tell her? Just a visitor?
No. Not
Okay.
yet.
You should think about staying the night. This one's a favorite of mine.
Well,
Legend.
because
we
she
all
would
know
love
and
to
love.
stay the night, but she can't sleep.
Hero, our hero claims a warrior's heart.
Welcome to the Winking Skeever, friend.
Ah, thank you.
Remember the Winking Skeever next time you're footsore.
Yeah, she wishes she could actually sleep.
Believe.
Ah, hello. Khajiit hears the spirit advisor, kitty cat. Ooh, you're talking more today, she hears. It is indeed your feline
Hail the Dragonborn.
relatives.
You know you can afford
Thank
a
you.
septim or two.
Okay, who is asking for the septum? That would be you.
Divines bless you. May the ground you walk quake as you pass.
Oh, sure, here we go, Coy.
Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart.
Well, somebody might as well enjoy it.
It's best you leave me be.
Yeah. Maybe she can fall asleep on the executioner's block. That seems about as comfortable a bed as any. It is quieter out here. She's not sure if she's going to be able to...
Coin or two for a veteran.
That's noisy too.
Much to ask.
She wants a quiet place to sleep. Ah, jerk. Maybe the market should be quiet at night. Nobody comes here at night. Right? Is there any bags of sacks of things, like sacks of wheat sounds lovely to sleep on, right? And there's nothing. There's a little creaking, but other than that, it may be over here in the ferns? Oh, that might work. Khajiit's gonna try to nap here. And I'm gonna try have her wait here. It might have something to do with being inside while all that stuff going on. It might crash, and if it does, I apologize, and I won't try it again. Oh, Khajiit gonna try to nap here. She expects it won't be a long nap. Alright, let's see if it works. Please work, please don't. Yep, okay, it's borked everywhere. Dang it. Well, good to know. We're just gonna have to have her wander around the city or figure out something to do while we're waiting for morning. Ah, dang it. Right, more cats, more music. There we go. Start Skyrim.
Starting Skyrim now. I'm a kangaroo.
Alrighty. Oh no, because you can't fall asleep here either. Oh. Khajiit's never had insomnia before. What is this? Maybe some meditation. She's heard that meditating can be almost as good as sleeping. She's gonna find out. She wonders if she's getting any better at some things. She thinks so. She thinks so. As you use things, you get better at them, so. In time. Possibly. Possibly this will be enough meditation to make her feel somewhat awake. Hello, Tammy. Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? She is not sure. Or I'm already speaking. I'm still speaking as Zahjira. I am not sure if you are aware that this is a serious roleplay live stream. If you are not, then I'd be happy to spend a minute doing the brief explanation of what it is. And the long explanation is that that is available on my website, Vals NoisyToys.tk, under the SRP section. And that has the text version of the general rules for role-playing in chat to help you create a character to slip right in. If you do not want to roleplay, that's fine. Just put OOC in front of your comments. Apparently I'm making the explanation anyway. It's a habit. It's good, because you're saying, what's that? SRP stands for Serious Roleplay, and you can tell when I am playing a serious roleplay game because there'll be an SRP badge here in the upper left-hand corner saying SRP. What it means is when I'm in I will be talking out of character when I'm in a save screen or looking at my desktop, but if I'm actually playing the game, I am in character in this particular series as Zahjira, and it's called Serious Roleplay because I do my absolute best to stay in character while I'm not in a save screen. It also means that if you do not want to roleplay or you have questions or comments you want to make in OOC out of character, then you should put OOC in front of your comments in chat. It makes it easier for me when I'm roleplaying as Zahjira, because if I see a comment starting with OOC, I kind of mentally skip it and don't try to figure out how she would respond to that, because she can hear you guys. She is a medium. She can hear her spirit advisors talking in chat, and she interacts, and that's how you guys, by role-playing in chat, become part of her life story. And like I said, if you don't want to roleplay, that's fine. You don't have to. But I do highly recommend that you check out at least the text version of the general guidelines if you want to create a character and, you know, do a lot of roleplay in chat. And I'm going to type in the Earl. And yes, you are a ghost. Voice off. Okay, good. That V didn't apparently take. I have voice. I'm just gonna toggle it on and off. Voice off.
Voice off.
Voice on.
Voice recognition is awake.
Okay. Just didn't want it doing something weird on me, thinking I said something I didn't. And yes, you are a ghost. So, welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy it. And right now, Zahjira has an issue with being unable to sleep. Because I can't. The game keeps crashing. Well, Khajiit has to admit the meditation did make her feel a little more awake. She still feels a little bit more tired than she should because she didn't actually sleep. And she's still fighting off yawns. Oh. Well. What can Khajiit do? She supposes she could look for bugs. The night bugs that she normally doesn't get to try to catch. She hasn't seen them out here, but they do happen out here.
Head over to Angeline's Aromatics.
Ah, thank you. Khajiit will do that if she needs. Bugs? No bugs? Oh? No bugs. Khajiit was really hoping for some night bugs. Is it too early for night bugs? It's middle of the night. Well.
My cousin's out dragons, and what do I get? Guard duty.
Well, you gotta start somewhere,
I was
bud.
a student at the Bard's College for a short time.
Alright, Erender's telling his story again.
Goods and wares of all kinds.
No, Khajiit is not buying from skooma dealers. Go away. Jerks. She ain't saying that about her own kinfolk, but they won't stop selling skooma. You got any bugs out here? Khajiit is in the market for night bugs. Ah, that poor child. She would adopt them all if she could, But she can't. There does not appear to be any bugs around here. Alright. Well, that's unfortunate. You know what? Khajiit thinks a ride in a cart might let her sleep. We are going to Windhelm. We'll come back and talk to Falk.
Stormcloak murdered the High King with his voice.
Yes. Khajiit heard that too. Right. Could we get a ride to Windhelm, actually, speaking of shouting people? Sir? Hello? Khajiit would really like a ride. Please?
Need a ride?
Yes. Yes, Khajiit does. She thinks he was napping in the seat. She didn't realize.
Where do you want to go?
Khajiit would like to go to Windhelm. She's heard there's someone there who can sell her spells.
Sit back and enjoy the ride.
Ah, well done, Temmie. What a beautiful night sky. That is incredible, she has to say. She thinks this is the first time she's been able to see it all the way around.
How can these people tolerate it?
With lots of fire, because she thinks. Okay, let's see if this save crashes. Please don't crash. Please don't. Okay. Alright. No bugs here. It's too cold. She was kind of hoping it'd be a little closer to morning. It's not. Ah, Khajiit here's a new spirit advisor. Your name is Temmie. Hello. Welcome to Khajiit's Madness. And Khajiit hopes you are indeed a friend. Well, Khajiit is kind of loath to go into yet another tavern with somebody probably singing all night. Ooh. Well, she does not have anything to enchant. No, she knows these. Some of them she made, so most of them she made. Ah, these are things... Ah, she sees ones that she does not, in fact, know. Ah, well, perhaps she will do that. Oh... If she sees another necklace that improves her haggling, she has to remember to buy it and not sell it, like to actually disenchant it. She had forgotten that there were still things that she needed to learn. Alrighty. All the shops, of course, are closed. Can she go in there? The door doesn't seem to be locked. She's not sure. The guards might get ticked off. But it doesn't seem to be locked. Hi? You're up... Because she thinks that... Ah. We actually had a message a long time ago to talk to you. She's sorry she had an avalanche and Alduin to deal with before she could come and find out what was going on. If it's alright, she would like to borrow your alchemy lab before she sits down and has a chat with you. Oh, Erender, when you're done, could you... Ah, thank you. Right. Could you... Oh, there. Ha! Could make invisibility, that's always very handy. She is not sure how good of an invisibility spell she can make right now, though. It's probably worth trying one, yes? $31. No. This does not seem like a strong enough potion to make it worth it. She thinks she needs to do more learning to make it worth it. She would like longer than that. Right. Well. Quintus. Khajiit did get your letter. She's sorry it's taken so long to answer.
I like your robes. Are you a sorcerer? From the college?
Yeah, did you hit your head? It's Khajiit. It's Zahjira. You know Khajiit.
My master can be a bit short-tempered, but I've learned so much from him.
Yes, Khajiit recalls that. Zahjira received your letter.
Good to hear. You can be a difficult woman to find.
Yeah?
Thankfully, those couriers are tenacious.
Oh, yeah. Ah, yes. It had to do with the file. You think you know how to repair it?
I have some thoughts. There are 3 crucial elements. Some may be easier to find than others. On the top of the throat of the world is a patch of unmelting snow.
Ah.
No heat can touch it. Then we need the tusk of a mammoth, ground to a fine powder as only the giants know how.
Okay.
The final step is tricky. It requires the briar heart from a forsworn of the Reach.
Khajiit might have one.
If you can bring me these materials, the file can again be made whole.
Oh. Well... tell Zahjira about the Briarheart.
The final tempering of the file was performed with a type of old magic that's been lost since the Dragon War.
Alright.
The nearest modern incarnation of it is the strange rituals practiced by the Forsworn. With the heart of one of their Briar warriors, I can lock the file's magic into its physical form.
Okay.
It's difficult to explain to the layman. Forgive me if I begin waxing alchemic.
No, Khajiit isn't quite a layman. She is still learning alchemy, she will admit. But she's not exactly a layman. What is the unmelting snow, exactly?
On top of the throat of the world is a patch of snow that's never melted. They say the Greybeards taught it to ignore the sun, and the heat simply washes over it. The original file was made from this snow. We'll only need a small bit for the repairs.
Khajiit has a suspicion this is more related to something else than the Greybeards. Zahjira wishes to know more about this mammoth tusk powder.
The ivory produced by those beasts is as hard as iron, but the giants have found ways to make it yield. They're able to grind it down so fine that it can be infused into the lattice of packed snow.
Okay.
The finished material has the delicate nature of fresh powder snow, but the strength of the hardest steel.
Okay, Khajiit was actually hoping you would... Because Khajiit just grind it herself? She might be able to do that. Alright.
Until next time.
Okay. Well... Erender. And to answer your question, OOC question, Temmie, this is the time frame. It's the 4th era, 201. errander.
Mara, protect us both. Running out of room, eh? I'll be glad to help.
Can Khajiit borrow that mammoth tusk?
I'm ready. Let's continue.
Now, Khajiit does have a mortar and pestle of her own. Here we are. No, that the tusk feels very difficult. It doesn't seem to want to grind at all. Alright, that's not gonna work. Does Khajiit have any briar hearts on her? She doesn't think so. We'll have to check the tent. No, in which case we might as well give you
Running
back.
out of room, eh? I'll be glad to help.
Yes. Khajiit will give you this back. Because we had it there for a reason.
I'm ready. Let's continue.
And Piper, you're saying perhaps Khajiit will find the tusk powder already ground. Yeah, she's thinking that she will need to get that possibly from a giant's camp. She doesn't think she's ever found any before, so she doesn't think there's any point right now until we find that powder to, hop into the tent and get a briar heart. So she was kind of hoping she could do this fairly quickly, but it's not going to be that easy. Of course it's not. Alright, well, at least we finally spoke to him. Hopefully he wasn't thinking that Khajiit was ignoring him. Hello, how's it going? Ah, there, Khajiit's eyes are adjusting to the dark a little bit. It is cold out. We'll probably have to go in and warm up at some point. Khajiit's kind of running out of... Oh! Is there a, There is. Fantastic. Ooh, actually the forge is warm. Karjo? Was it you or Quadojo that... It was Quadojo.
Well met.
Khajiit needs to... You can't sharpen a mace, can you? Never mind. Khajiit needs to do nothing. Unfortunately, Temmie, given that you are a spirit, you're not actually physically present where Khajiit is. You are just watching through her eyes. So you can't physically give her any items. But you could tell her about the piece of wood that you found. And say that you wish you could give it to her. In fact, that's what she'll do. That's what she'll interpret what you're said as. Temmie, you found a piece of wood. Well, Khajiit could probably use it if it... Well, she's not sure if it has special meaning to you or not, but she could always use... Firewood? She's hearing a voice.
I ain't asking for much. Just a few septims.
Okay. What is going on here? The heck? What is this?
Always sad when someone has to die.
Well, she doesn't...
Pleasant chat.
She doesn't think that person had to die.
This is a shame.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Charity.
Excuse me?
Another one. Terrible.
Another what?
The divine smile on a charitable soul.
Look, that is horrible. Somebody cut the poor woman all to pieces. What? Guard? Guard? Is there no guard around here? Guard! You... Guard! Hey, guard!
Gotta keep my eyes open. Damn dragons could swoop down at any time.
Perhaps you could keep your eyes open for the thing that's going on in the cemetery? There's a woman that's been killed there. This is not something that normally should be happening inside a city. It's possible she was an asshat, Khajiit doesn't know. You don't care. What a lousy guard. Khajiit... Well... Right. Khajiit is going... Right. Let's go to the top, shall we? Since the guards don't seem to be doing the guarding job. She will wake someone up if she has to. Hello! Do you...
I've got a lot of respect for the Restoration School. Skyrim could use a lot more healers.
Yeah, so could the murdered woman in the graveyard. Has anybody told you about that? Over there. You might want to go and help the poor soul. At least bury her freaking body. Right. Well, it looks like some people are awake. Ah, you're Layla.
You have something to say, dog? Something on your mind?
Oh, is she another Yeah.
Good journey to you.
Okay, that is someone that she also pissed off with the Peace Council. Alrighty then. Not somebody who's gonna help. Ulfric is asleep. You.
I'm afraid my days as the steward of Riften has come to an end.
Oh, you are all from Riften. Ah. Okay. Now, if I were a Jarl in this place, where would I be sleeping? You. You with the hat. You don't talk. Are you also pissed at Khajiit?
I'm not sure you belong here, friend.
Oh, bite Khajiit. She's... Look, do you care? There's been a woman. She's murdered. She's in the cemetery. You might want to do something about it. She's looking for somebody, anybody who cares that somebody's been murdered in the graveyard. It's just... incredible, incredible. Hello? Anybody here? Anybody at all? No, nobody's here. Anyone here? No, no, she doesn't care who she wakes up. Because she... Maybe if she ticks someone off enough, they will get ticked at the guards who aren't doing their freaking job. Great! Someone she can wake up. Hi. She has no idea who you are. Hello.
Keep your eyes open.
Yeah, you open your eyes. Your name is Yersoul. Nice to meet you, Khajiit. There's a murdered woman in the graveyard. You might want to... If you have any position here, you might want to do something about it.
All right, then.
As you can see, I have much that requires my attention. If you're inclined to gab, there are some nice prison guards you may like to meet.
Excuse me, Jarl Ulfric? Khajiit is simply here to tell you there is a woman who has been murdered in your graveyard. Your guards don't seem to care. She was looking actually for you, or somebody who cared. But she can tell that you are still unhappy about how the Peace Council went. Khajiit has little interest in fighting against anybody.
Go with the gods.
Indeed. I can only assume that was triggered because she talked to that guy. That was not an answer I wanted her to give. Right. Hopefully you care. Well, since she's here barging around and waking people up and he's humming, he's not pissed. She will talk to him again in the morning. No point in waking him up twice. But she might as well find the mage who sells spells. What time is it? It's 5 a.m. Not... Oh, this is your room. So sorry. Alright. Well, Khajiit has accomplished... Thank you, Arender. Thank you. That is...
Huh?
Yes, please move. Please.
What the?
Yes. Arender, Khajiit cannot turn herself into a slender, paper-thin person to get past you. Thank you. Alright. Neither of these places look like a place where a mage lives. Arender, are you sure your information is correct? Hi. Alright, let's try this direction. This one goes down. That seems unlikely. Okay, this looks like a kitchen. Khajiit is sorry to bother you.
Whatever you've heard I can do is probably true.
But you're in mage's robe, so she's hoping you can help her. Khajiit? Actually, you look kind of familiar to Khajiit. She's not sure why. Perhaps her precise memory was lost in the avalanche, but, Khajiit would barter with you, yes? Do you have anything that you can sell? No? Do you... What kind of magic do you study?
Whatever I don't already know.
Just like
Power's
Khajiit?
the crux of this world. There's always more of it to be had, if you look in the right places.
Well, it's not so much power, she just likes learning things. But, do you train in destruction magic by any chance?
You already know all that I know.
Oh. Okay. That actually surprises Khajiit. Does Ulfric have some need for magic, perhaps? Is that why you're here?
No, but then I don't have much need for Ulfric. We both leave well enough alone.
Ah. She has to admit that regular magic does not seem to be Ulfric's style, so, yeah. Well...
Strength and steel are well and good, but magic is the true power in this world.
Perhaps Khajiit will check back with you in a couple hours to see if you actually have things to sell. She suspects that even if you do have things to sell, you currently don't want to bother pulling it all out to show Khajiit. Now, what confuses her is why you're sleeping in the kitchen. That is unexpected. Hi. Okay. Yes, the Peace Council may have brought peace, but who knows for how long. Now that Alduin is... Oh, okay. Hi. Now that... It sounds like somebody's sick in there. Now that Alduin is gone... She wouldn't be surprised if they don't start fighting again. She hopes that actually having peace might make them, you know, calm down about it all, but no. Each side thinks they're right, and when that happens, you end up with fights. Well, if it's all the same to you, Khajiit is going to make some notes about where these places are. She thinks she might have found some of these already. Visited them. She doesn't think she's looked at a map in detail before, though. Or if she did, she doesn't recall.
If anyone...
Khajiit has ignored this particular conflict for as long as she could. She's kind of suspects that she may not be able to continue to do that. Okay, she thinks she's looked at all the spots on the map here. She was kind of expecting to see actual signs of her note-taking on here, but... Oh, wait, no. There it is. Fort Newgrad. Fort Sungard. Fort Greymar. Okay, so they are showing up on the map. It's probably the little camps that aren't really showing. Okay. Well, what time is it now? Ah, it's only 5:19. Dang it, there's... Well... She did what she could to report the fact that it just didn't look like someone who, you know, had just, you know, fought in a battle like they tried to rob somebody. It didn't look right. Ah, well, the sky is starting to lighten a little bit. Was it Sophia she adopted from here?
Poor old woman.
Zilda, are you still... Has anybody... Nobody's come. Well, she reported it.
Windhelm is absolutely freezing.
She reported it to Ulfric himself, so if he just went...
A few septims for my supper is all I have. Another one. Terrible.
Indeed. Here.
Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. The divine smile on a charitable soul.
Yes, well, Khajiit did report it to Ulfric himself, so whether he does anything about it, she understands that he's prejudiced against Dunmer, but this was one of his own people.
I ask only for a little charity.
Always sad when someone has to die.
Yes, it is, although in this case, has, she does not like that word. Why did that person have to die? Well, she might as well chop a little bit of wood. Keep warm. She has used some wood in campfires, so she probably should get a little bit more. Ugh.
I ain't asking for much. Just a few septims.
Whew. Alright, Khajiit is already bored. Alright guys, I see that I neglected to set my alarm, so I've actually gone past the time that I normally restart the next episode, so we're going to do it now. Did I just do a save? Please tell me I just did a save. Yes, I did. Okay. So, if you are new to my stream, I normally end the episode after each hour. And for those of you on YouTube, that means please look at the upcoming live stream section for the next event, which should be 3.058. For those of you watching on Twitch or Mixer, the stream will be ending briefly for about 5 minutes, and then I'll be back with the last 45 minutes of Skyrim Zahjira's travels for tonight. Hope you've been enjoying the stream, and I'll see you in a few minutes.